Tell me about that particular scene.
Well,
from an acting standpoint.
From acting, given that I knew absolutely nothing about football.
Really? You live in Austin, Texas.
I know. See, you passed judgment.
Your husband,
I know,
by the way.
Who was a ball player, and I was a cheerleader.
Exactly.
No.
What goes on here?
I don't know. Craziness.
Yes, well, yeah, that probably too.
But having not known what I know now, and then coming to it this way to understand and love the sport has been the greatest experience, I think, of this whole process in an odd way. To learn what an athlete...
To love...
Well, to learn what an athlete and what a player has, because I love athletics. I'd
right.
always secretly wanted to be some kind of athlete on some kind of professional level. Never did it.
On a professional level?
Yeah, I've
like
loved... I don't know.
Skiing or tennis or...
something. I mean, I was, dancer, gymnast. I did everything. So I love what people can do with their body, and I enjoy that in physical comedy, to see what you can do with your body in order to get a reaction. I identified that with the players and their stamina and their agility, and so many of them coming from tricky and hard places to form this group with this one man shepherding this entire team of young men. It was beautiful. So to learn how to speak the language and learn what I was saying was
okay,
fun.
so that's part of the challenge. What else about this scene? Because the way she walked in there.
Yeah, the high heels in the moist mud.
Exactly right. And then the expression on her face for that after she's sort of done her...
Oh, Leigh Anne, when she talks to you, has this thing where she's just like, not that she's looking down at you, but she knows, and she's letting you know that she's one above you, and if you want to question her, you go right ahead. So
I'm the captain of this ship.
Yes, and she does have a head where she's always picking up her head when she's making a point.
And you pick that up and put it in this in the portrayal. And she loves it.
She
loves it.
Does she?
I don't know. All I know is you told me I had to get her here at this table.
You
That's
do.
what
I loved
the whole family,
her.
maybe.
I loved them, and I still love them, and I just didn't want her to be offended by the portrayal. I wanted her to know that, but here's the thing: she knows the difference between real life and movie making, and she got that completely. I thought she'd be in there messing around and telling us how to do things. No, she would show up at night with some of her lady friends, on the way to dinner, and say hi, and the entire set would stop and crowd around Leigh Anne. But she knew the difference between...
Now, did you talk to Michael Lewis about this?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't talk to him.
He's a very funny guy.
He's a great guy, and again, very much like John Lee Hancock, understated and quiet.
Yes.
They aren't people who toot their own horns,
right.
and he wrote the foundation that was the catalyst for all of this, and between those two men, I learned so much about, I want to say being a guy, but I'm sure there's female football players, but the love of sport, the love of coach, the family aspect of everything I came to it completely new and fresh, and I think that's why, to your question earlier, that's why the film did so well, because it's an aspect of how to be a family. In a time when we're not doing so well sometimes on being a family. And I see that in football, how they pull together. We saw it at Super Bowl. It's about being a community. There's so many different aspects of being a family that I don't think we've shown that enough on in what we do in our business. We're so quick to show an explosion or someone getting killed, but it's nice to show something that works.
What you were infusing in him was a sense he had a protective gene.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you're translating the real life idea.
Yeah.
You're going to protect the
family.
running backs.
Yeah.
And think of it as if you're protecting the family, because I know you want to protect the family.
Yeah.
So.
And that Leigh Anne's got that eye.
Yeah. And she acknowledged finally that what she really cared about was getting him to Ole Miss. The fact that it wasn't. In her game plan.
Yeah, she realized maybe unconsciously it was, but the whole family, she wants all the kids to go to Ole Miss, all her children she wants to, because that's the family tradition, and it wasn't to go to Ole Miss to get a scholarship, to get money, to be, no one knows if you're going to get drafted, traded, or no, it's drafted. That's where I made the mistake before. I was like, I said traded, and they went, no, he was drafted.
Well, Archie Manning went to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And so did Eli.
And
but Peyton went to Tennessee.
See?
See?
See what happens?